Avatar just got a fighting game announced and it already looks promising. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, potentially a work in progress title, is a 1v1 fighting game being made by the same developers as Them's Fighting Herds and is planning to release in summer of 2026 with crossplay and rollback netcode across all platforms. But I'm taking a deep dive into the details about it from the trailer, screenshots, and Steam page for the game, which you can wishlist right now, and overall just trying to make some predictions on what to expect from the fighting game next year. Though the game is 1v1, you will be able to select support characters, which affects your fighting style and gives access to certain special moves. Now, to what extent that fully means we don't really know yet, but some of the characters who are support characters can be seen in the background of stages, those being Appa, Mei, June, and Naga, with Appa and June seeming to react to your attacks but not much else. There's plenty of characters across the Avatar series that would make sense as support characters. I personally would love for there to be a Zhu Li support, but here's hoping that this game doesn't have a similar issue to what Mortal Kombat 1 had, having characters that would make a lot of sense and people really wanting to play with complete movesets being delegated to just being assist characters. Speaking of, the Steam page says that there will be 12 base roster characters with more coming as season model DLC. From the trailer, we have 7 confirmed characters: Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, Zuko, Azula, and Korra. That leaves us with just 5 more to speculate on, unless something changes in the future. Now, I think it'd be weird if the base roster only had Korra to represent her series, so I'm expecting Bolin, Mako, and Asami at the least, which brings us down to 2 other characters. Now, I want to say that Iroh would be base roster, as it would make a lot of sense. However, it wouldn't be the first time he was DLC for a fighting game. To be fair, that wasn't an Avatar-focused game, so he does lean more towards being in the base roster than DLC. I'm just saying it's not impossible. So he is a little bit up in the air, but let's say he is a part of the base roster. So that would leave 1 more character for the base roster of the game, which is a bit up in the air at this point. It's possible that it could be reserved as early promotion for the protagonist of the new Avatar series 7 Havens, which is supposed to release in 2027, but at best that would be 4 months prior, which might not be too early, but again, that's best case scenario. So my guess for them is that they'll probably be DLC later on. But for the base roster characters, since the game has a single player campaign with an original narrative, and as far as the confirmed characters right now, there would only be a single villain, that being Azula, which personally feels a little odd. I think the last character could be an original villain made for this game, and then the DLC characters could be a lot of the villains: Ozai, Kuvira, Zahir, and other avatars, Kyoshi, the new one from 7 Havens, maybe even Wan, the first avatar. There's plenty of different options to choose from. The last thing to talk about is the flow system, which right now we only have vague clues as to how it works. But on the Steam page, it is also tied to being part of movement, and I did notice that some of the moves in the trailer and screenshots give off a blue after image effect when they are performed, and this is mostly done on moves that utilize some form of movement, such as Korra backflipping and then firebending off of this earth, and what kinda looks like a command jump from Aang. It's a little hard to tell because the first half of it's cut off. This after effect is also present in supers, but that might just be to make them look more flashy. But who knows, it might still have a tie to it in some way. The only other thing that I can point out gameplay-wise that probably isn't connected to this is that 3 specific attacks in the trailer leave the character with a glowing effect on them. All of them were attacks that utilize bending, but not every single bending attack does this. Even the super moves that are shown don't do it at all. I was able to see that the 2 involving the character turning orange was both with firebending and were also both counter hits. As for the airbending one, it might be that you're able to jump cancel certain attacks on hit. It only appears once throughout the entire trailer, so I don't have any other frames of reference like the firebending one to at least make some form of pattern. But my guess is that each element has a special attribute from fighting games that heavily benefits or is attributed to a particular bending element. Let's say that firebending has a counter hit benefit that the other elements don't have, and airbending might let you jump cancel attacks. What earth and water could be? I mean, earth could be dash cancels, to be honest. That actually would be pretty cool. Water is a lot harder to judge, to be honest, though. And what does this possibly mean for anyone who isn't able to use bending? Sokka just might be at the bottom of the tier list. Gonna be honest. But with that, I am excited for upcoming information, which involving Avatar is a first in a while, because after the last Avatar video game that happened, let's just say I was already out when the trailer for that game dropped, so this is a very nice change of pace. But please let me know about your thoughts and ideas about the game, as well as all the speculation that I have presented so far.